Welcome back. Now, we all get a little bit unmotivated at work at times. I mean,
Really?
even us, you know. Even when you're covering the big stories like the first people to send a lamb chop into space on a balloon and you know that you are revolutionising the way humanity thinks about itself, even then you can lose motivation some days. But have you ever considered being selfish, scared and stupid might be the key to being more productive?
Yep. Behavioural strategists and authors Gregory and Kieran Flanagan have written a new book, and it suggests that we should be embracing humankind's less heroic tendencies if we really want to boost staff workplace productivity. They join us this morning to discuss their interesting new strategies. Good morning to you both.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Pretty interesting stuff, suggesting that we should be selfish, scared and stupid, or embracing the fact, really, that we are these things.
Yeah.
All people are these things, and then trying to hone in on that and benefit from it. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, selfish, scared and stupid doesn't take a lot of effort. That's almost humanity's default screensaver. That flies around our head like a flying toaster. So that's kind of, it's the way we think. You know, we act on our own behalf. We look to mitigate risk. We look for the easiest, simplest way of doing things. And that's actually been a survival skill. It's why we survived as a species, but it just doesn't sound very good.
Yeah, there's a story that I read that you've quoted of a German general who basically appointed underlings who he felt were lazy but smart because the lazy person will find the simplest way to do something. Is that what you're sort of encouraging bosses to go for here?
Yeah, well, we're saying to them, just think carefully about how you see laziness. You know, laziness has a really bad reputation. And we say, well, hang on a second, lazy mindset actually looks for the simplest, easiest way to get things done. And if you think of how much change we have to deal with at the moment, we need to rethink our systems. Because our current systems don't work. And a diligent employee often will be unconscious to the system. They just do what they should.
Yes.
Right. And make it perhaps too complicated.
Well, they just don't question it.
Yeah, right.
So we can make it shorter and simpler. A lazy person goes, how do I get this done in half the time? How do I get a result and do less work?
So, we've covered a little bit the selfish. We're all self-motivated, so you have to offer us incentives, you know, the personal incentives if you want us to work well. You know, we look for the shortcuts if we're creative enough to be able to think about them. What's the scared bit?
Well, scared is, you know, everything we do is motivated by some kind of fear. We've all got some kind of fear driving us. Sometimes it might be the fear of the deadline, which is actually a terrific fear in terms of getting work done. Yeah, right. But we tend to only think of fear as a negative. We tend to, you know, a lot of business books tend to say, well, actually lose the fear. You know, the fear is damaging. But actually, if you move the fear from action to inaction, so if you're more fearful of not doing what you need to do, that's actually a really positive thing. So it's about understanding that fear drives us and how we can shift it.
The other thing about with the selfish part, you were talking about charity and about bosses trying to change their strategic thinking about how they were doing things. And that often if you're just asking people for money, just for money to help a charity, people won't give it. However, something like the Ice Bucket Challenge has been a phenomenal worldwide success because it taps into people's innate selfishness.
It gives you something to do.
Yeah, and most people don't know what ALS is. They don't know it's a neurodegenerative disease of the brain or the stem cells or whatever it is. And most people don't know that, but it didn't matter. Because what, you're going to have a solution to that problem in your drawer? The average person isn't going to. So what they need is funds to fund research. So putting something in it for people, which is, here's a fun challenge for you to go out and do, share with your friends, make it social. It's an online chain letter, essentially, that raised more money than any charity campaign.
So it's selfish because it's fun and because it's sort of self-promoting.
It comes from a
stupid
position
because
of
it's nice and easy. Is there any fear involved in that?
Well, the fear of looking like a bad guy, because I didn't take the challenge on. So you're afraid of social rejection because someone dared you to do it, and you were like, oh, I'm not getting wet, my hair will freeze.
Sure.
So it was perfect. That was a perfect all-round campaign.
Jimmy Kimmel certainly had no fear when he put them down his fishing Wellingtons, put the ice down his wellies. It was fearless. Just quickly before you go, you're from the Impossible Institute. This is just about rethinking the ways that we process business.
What we do is we work in behaviour design. So we look at how do we make work more natural? How do we make engagement with customers more natural? How do we get people to do what they do and actually have it produce a result?
Okay, terrific. Oh, Dan and Kieran, it is a delight to see you both this morning, and thanks for bringing your book in. Mon and I aren't going to read it because everyone in television is all of those things anyway, but I'll certainly give it to my brother.
Look, our excellent staff who are, you know, totally on the job. We are all selfish, scared and stupid. You are so right. And Dan and Kieran's book is in bookstores now. Thanks, team.
Cheers.
You're great.
Thanks.
Are they listening? No.
Jacob's the only one who's listening.
I know. Look at him.
You know?
Jacob's always onto it.